We Are ND Nation Podcast, a new era of Irish football with your host, me, Evan J. Thomas, and my new co-host, Dennis Stover, as we will bring you special guests throughout the season. We will go deep with your Irish football coverage in a way that you haven't seen or heard before. Dennis and Evan are just two best friends, lifelong Irish fans, bringing you the best Notre Dame football coverage, analysis, and our opinions on a weekly basis. You can watch or listen to the We Are ND Nation podcast on YouTube every Friday during the season on wearendnation.com. Follow us on the socials. We are ND Nation. Go Irish. All right. Let's rock and roll, Irish fans. Evan J. Thomas here, along with my co-host, Dennis Stover. On this week's We Are ND Nation podcast, we will have our takes on this past weekend's 35-14 victory over number 4 Clemson. Our preview and predictions of the matchup this coming weekend against Navy on the road in D.C. We will have our Name That Former ND Players segment with Dennis. But to kick off, I have to announce this, guys. So here we go.
Yes.
We have on, and I'm excited to say this, former Notre Dame cornerback, drafted in the 4th round of the 2020 NFL draft, number 113 overall, by the Carolina Panthers. Excited to bring this man on today on the We Are ND Nation podcast. Welcome, Troy Pride Jr.
Yeah!
We're back, baby. There
Go
he is.
Irish!
Hey,
Let's
don't
rock
forget,
out.
He was on a playoff team, too. He was on a playoff team, too.
Yeah, we beat a playoff team, and who knows where we could be now. And Troy, since you joined us on today, first time you've been on our show, so I just want to see what is up with you at the past, since college. I mean, you've been out of college for 2 years now. What's going on?
I know it's crazy. I feel like an old man. No,
Yeah,
but
you're talking to 2 old men here, so all right.
but it's been good. I'm a proud alum, obviously. But I mean, I've just been, playing football. Living my dreams out. Got injured with the Panthers, so currently a free agent. Looking for my next opportunity. Looking for the next place I can call home. But until then, it's always grind, and obviously every Saturday tune into my Irish. So.
And how's the recovery?
Got to get you in
going
New
on?
York. We should get him in New York, and then he can team up with Julian Love again.
There you go.
Hey,
Bring
take
him
some
to the
calls. We can make it happen. I promise you
I'll
that.
see what I can do.
That's awesome. So besides just training for football, do you have anything else that you have going on with just yourself? You have a pretty cool website that I was checking out earlier too. So what all do you have with that?
Yeah, so like I said, I got my website. I'm doing. I've got merchandise for my family.
Nice.
Pride merch, and it's kind of like an extension of us. We've created this brand, and we want to streamline and make it like athleisure. Got certain business ventures that I'm exploring and getting investments and things like that. So I'm definitely blessed. So on that regard, it's training, making sure I keep the main thing, but having a little fun and living a little bit of life too.
And that's what you got to do. And talking about having some fun, are we ready to talk about this past game?
Yeah, man.
And you can swear on this show, and I'm going to say, holy shit, did I not expect that game to be what it was?
I'm going to say, if I had an egg, I'd crack it over my face because I said 38-10 Clemson, and it was the opposite. So,
oh no. So
yeah, I mean, Troy, it was hard. They're a different team every week, and they finally learned how to tackle this week and put people away, and it was fucking glorious.
And what did I say? What did I pick? 38-34?
Yeah.
Something like that?
You picked
Notre Dame. I actually picked Notre Dame.
You picked Notre Dame to win.
So I had that win. And I said they had to play a near perfect game too. And they basically did. What did you see, Troy, from that game that stood out to you the most?
I mean, I'm always watching defense. That's the first thing. And truly, like I said, so Clemson's offense has been shaky all year. You saw it in games against Syracuse. But for our defense to go out there and control the line of scrimmage, to basically eliminate their receivers, and give DJ Uyunglele, really nothing to do, and then bring in Kludnick and let him too. So
yeah.
The fact of the matter is, your defense played well, and then offense, capitalized from that. They took advantage of them running the football. Like That's our nature. We're like 64% team that runs the football. They did that. Did it well. Estimate. Balling, like popping off 9-10 yards a run, like, and then special teams setting the whole thing off. You block a punt. I think there's like some statistic when you block a punt at any point in the game, like I think it's 75% chance that you win that game.
Wow.
See, I didn't know
at any point.
At any point.
That's
so
awesome.
This is the Notre Dame's 6th block punt this year. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. I don't know what Mason's doing, but
right there. So that's pretty cool. Dennis, what did you think of that game? I mean, obviously you and I were texting back and forth as we always do.
Yeah, I mean, I was just they were aggressive. They acted like they played like they wanted to be there. They were more physical. They just, I mean, that day they looked like they could have hung with any team in the country, honestly. And maybe Clemson might be a slight tad overrated, but they're still Clemson. I mean, it's a good team, and they had 2 weeks to prepare. And I got to give, I think game ball. I've been thinking about, and obviously you go with Benjamin Morrison, but I think I got to give it to the coaching staff, honestly, because they finally coached them up. They did what they were supposed to do. I was down on the position coaches and stuff, but they were tackling. It was great. They were blocking. It was a fun game to watch, and I'm extremely happy.
And I think one of the main things we said last week was we wanted Notre Dame to have that away game presence that they've been kind of
put them away.
Look how that game started. If you saw the beginning where they did the whole light show and the music and the players on the sideline jumping around, throwing the towels, that right there hyped up that crowd to be in it the entire night. And obviously they brought it. So
that's one more quick thing. I'm so glad that Notre Dame Stadium turned into a football stadium and stopped being a nursing home, because that place was loud and it was awesome.
Yeah,
cats didn't sit up their hands anymore, so it was great. It was a good environment.
I can even attest to that. Like, I mean, I remember 2018 we came out against Michigan, green out.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Yeah,
that one.
The early ones, and like that's the loudest probably I've heard the stadium. While I was there, and it was just like a real kick and like a home field advantage for real, because you're making it hostile on them. They played the video of when they had to call a timeout and we're complaining about the fans. The fans went crazy. And
that's great.
Were you at the game? Epic flyover too of that game too, right before the game started. I was standing there watching it, and I'm just like, I had the chills just standing there on the field doing that. So go ahead, Dennis. I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
No. I just asked if Troy was at the game on Saturday.
No, I wasn't able to go to the game, unfortunately. Like I said, doing a little bit more different stuff. But shoot, I was watching it on my phone. Yeah.
So were you like me when Benjamin Morrison had that 96-yard touchdown? I got up and I was like, go!
I did a couple laps around the coffee table.
like you said.
Good corner play hits like my heart in a special place. And I mean, it started off with him attacking the blocks and forcing them for holding penalties and stuff like that. Like, that's like, okay, that's the start. Then, you see them like attack him and then go at him again the next play and him break it up right there. And it's okay, starting to get really good. Then the Kludnik pick, it was like, all right, like, this is a great game. This is already a great game as a corner. This is everything that you're supposed to do. And then to kill the momentum when we were up 21-0 and they were driving, kill that momentum, take it back for 6. Mm-hmm. Come on.
It was awesome.
Not just 6, I mean, 18 years old defensive back.
I love it. I love it. And what else I love about this too is because he's playing freshmen, and it shows, hey guys, or the 3-headed running backs, like we can get these superstars coming, because Freeman obviously can recruit. So now they see this and they're like, oh, he's not afraid to play freshman. I'm going to go in there and get a starting job. So let's get some of those big dogs in here.
Of course.
I'm going to throw out some stats on the running back. So we had Estime with 18 carries, 104 yards, 1 touchdown. Diggs, 17 carries, 114 yards. I think last week was it Tyree that had 100 yards. So you're nailing, I mean, another 263 total yards on the ground, 5.6 yards per carry. I mean, we were saying last week, except for that third quarter against Syracuse, the last 7 quarters or 7 out of the 8 quarters,
Yeah,
they just ran the ball up their ass the entire night, and it's awesome seeing that offensive line just dominating.
Well, it's awesome to have Tommy not be cute and run the ball. Like, run it, Tommy. Come on.
So I do have to say, there was one play that I predicted, and that was actually the Mayer touchdown at the end. We were running it. And I turned to my girlfriend and Rick, and I was like, watch him over the top to Mayer. Next play, over the top to Mayer. I was like, I should have bet on
you should get Powerball, dog. That shit's up to $2 billion.
Troy, what were we going to say?
Yeah, speaking on that, number one, I mean, I think that, Tommy definitely deserves, respect because, he takes the flag just as well, but, deserves the praise because, he knows like what guys in Notre Dame go through. Obviously, he's been there, he's played there, he's been coaching there. But he definitely put it all together with getting them ready to play, calling a game that we needed to, because, you think about Clemson, you're like, oh, no, their front seven's dominant. He was like, nah, forget running right at them, and we're going to see how dominant they are, right?
Yep.
And doing it and wore them down and made them quit. And shoot, that's what you got to do, And he knew that was the game plan. He knew that's what we were doing. We rocked out with it.
Yeah, I agree with Troy. I mean, you're right. You could see it towards the end of the game. I don't think Clemson wanted to get off that field.
Yeah.
They looked worn down, and they were just like, these guys are tough.
Oh yeah.
And talk about the Powerball real quick. Right before the game, I had tweeted, and it was just trolling little jokes. But I was like, I bet the mortgage on my house that Notre Dame going to win. Let's go Irish. Like, and this is before any snap, any kickoff, anything happened. And, it's just funny because, like, everybody's like, oh, good luck, like, whatever. But then you come out and we shellacked them. I was like, hey, I might need to go get a couple tickets.
So what's funny you say that you predicted Notre Dame to win. I actually went on a radio show on Saturday for the first time for the podcast and predicted the win. And the 2 guys on the show kind of laughed at me. And I was like, and after the game, they both tweeted me and said, great job. And I'm like, so
I love that.
Kind of threw it back at him, even though I did say Notre Dame most likely is going to get shellacked by USC. Now I'm not so sure.
I don't know, man. USC don't have, again, the University of Spoiled Children. They don't play defense. And, they got Lincoln Riley and Caleb. That's about it. I think we –
You think about that. They play Utah, who's a tough football team. Didn't go in their way. We're obviously building momentum. If we continue to, work on our process, I don't think they want to see us at all, especially with the playoffs on the line.
Especially,
I don't see us at all.
All the pressure's on them.
Yeah, and then how defense, like if we limit Jordan Addison and Caleb Williams to 10, 11 play drives, I don't think their offense is built to, march it all. Yeah. So
I haven't really looked into USC's stats yet, but I will be in another week or so. But yeah, that should be a very interesting matchup with our offensive line and just what we have seen the past few weeks with the running game and Mayer. I wish they just use the wide receivers a little bit more, but since it's working with the running game, stick with it. So I'm good with that.
I'm fine with the Navy production of the quarterback for us, meaning, because Navy doesn't throw very much. So run the ball.
Yeah.
Well, and a couple of the alums and I have had, conversations about, quarterback play at that time. And, I mean, truly, I think, this is honestly Buckner's, offense still because, you run the ball and then him being dynamic enough to pull it and, outside or, roll out and make throws. I mean, I think that, it's still his offense and, Pine might not be able to do everything that Buckner can, but he's doing enough to obviously win games. So.
Right, just win games.
Yeah.
And I don't care how Buckner would be playing right now if he was still in, like, we saw how he wasn't very efficient early on, but
I think he probably would have settled down and probably been pretty good, actually.
I think he was probably in the same position.
Maybe Joe Wilkins doesn't transfer, It's like –
Then you talk about into that North Carolina team that basically had no defense. And, him building momentum in a game like that. And, he throws a couple great passes, gets a little bit of praise. And once again, we're the Road Warriors.
Right.
Yeah, he who's to say that he's not, hitting his peak right now and really being dominant. So, you never know. But I think Pond's doing a wonderful job at the helm and, not making mistakes and just trying to, limit what, he does.
I think you just nailed something there with the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, or not the yeah. What's the Road Warriors in wrestling? What was their thing? What a rush! You gotta do a T-shirt with like Notre Dame and the Road Warriors 2022.
That'd be lit. Yeah, especially we knock off USC. Come on now.
If they beat USC, I'm gonna help. We'll work on a little deal here for doing a T-shirt.
That's all I want for Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. And Thanksgiving. Well, it's after Thanksgiving.
Actually, right? I can't say. I was going to say that's all I want for my birthday, but I still got 2 weeks for the SC game.
Next week, sir.
No, my birthday's Sunday, dog.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. So we're going to take a quick little break. But before we do the break, Dennis and I, every week, we do name that former Notre Dame player. What I do is I give him stats on a player, and we go to break. And then when we come back, he gets to guess who it is. So I'm going to kind of throw this one out him. I don't want Troy to respond. You might know who it is. I don't know if you will. But I think Dennis will nail this one this
I hope so. I was a little bummed last week. Anyway.
All right. I know you missed Irv Smith, and I
had three guys that played around the same time in my head. I couldn't figure the name out.
So I'm gonna do this one for Dennis. All right. So here we go. This player at Notre Dame was a running back from 2015 to 2017. He had a total of 480 carries, 3,201 yards, 6.7 yards per carry, 20 touchdowns, receiving 41 catches, 334 yards with 2 touchdowns. Dennis, don't name it, but we're going to go to take a quick little break, and we'll come back with Dennis's reveal of name that former ND player. You think you got it?
I think so.
I think Troy's got it, right?
Of course, he played with me.
I got a good guess, so we'll see.
All right, so we're going to come right back. We're going to talk about the Navy game this coming week. I got Dennis Stover, Troy Pride Jr. joining us on today's show, and also myself, Evan J. Thomas. We are ND Nation Podcast. Be back in about 1 minute after I play my own commercials. So there you go.
I love it.
The E2B2 podcast featuring father and son duo Evan J. Thomas and
Brandon Thomas.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
As we discuss our lives,
life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Pop culture, and some of the best movies.
John Wick.
Oh yeah, and some duds. Listen to the E2B2 podcast on BadassProductions1.com in the on-demand section under E2B2.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you? Or listen to Spotify, Google Podcasts, or almost anywhere you can get your podcasts.
I guess you guys aren't ready for that yet, but your kids are gonna love it.
Oh yeah, and Brandon, guess what?
No.
Yeah, we get it. You are my father.
Back here on the We Are ND Nation podcast, Evan J. Thomas, Dennis Stover, and our special guest, cornerback from Notre Dame, Troy Pride Jr.
Yes, sir.
There it is.
We're coming off the 35-14 victory over Clemson. But before
in Dabo's words, that was an ass kicking.
That was an ass kicking. And that, we turned around, kicked them, and then threw them out the door. That's basically
that was great.
All right.
Bring your own juice.
Yeah. So before the break, I kind of gave the little stats for name that former ND player to Dennis. I'm going to do it once again, see if he knows who this is. So this running back played at Notre Dame from 2015 to 2017. He had 480 career carries, 3,201 yards, 6.7 yards per carry, 20 touchdowns, receiving 41 catches, 336 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Dennis, go.
God, I thought it was. I think you might have got me again now.
Get out of here.
No, I was gonna say all these guys run together now. The pressure's on. We got to make this next year multiple choice, so I don't look like a fool. I want to say Dexter Williams, man.
I will say one thing.
Huh.
I say it came out a year too early out of the college.
That says it all.
Oh, it was Josh Adams.
Easy.
Yeah.
A year too early. He should have fucking stayed for one more year.
Well, that is he was kind of beat up, towards the end.
That I knew, yes.
I mean, he was. I mean, he touched the ball 20 times a game. So yeah, they did get banged up.
It's a 2017 season. He missed the last 3 games, and he was
he was pace to like.
And that's what I'm saying.
1,430 yards in 2017.
Getting cut off.
Sorry.
What were you saying?
And I was gonna say, like, running backs kind of have a shelf life, so he was like, "Hey, do it." And then we had a great year too. He was a huge part of that, especially. So I get it, but yeah, he did have a lot early. Like that Heisman when he was up for Heisman.
And I captured that touchdown of him running right at me with 99 yards. I was
That's
there.
right.
I was
that's the record. Yeah, that's the record still, right?
Well, yeah, because you can't have a 100-yard run.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm saying I didn't know if Dexter Williams, because didn't Dexter Williams break one off the year after?
Yeah.
At Virginia Tech? Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think Dexter.
I think it was 98 yards or something like that. It was close.
And then Kyron, too. Wasn't he close to one?
He broke off a big one, too. Hell, opening play of 2020, Troy was there. When he broke off the first play against Clemson.
There you go. So there you go. Got it. Well, Dennis nailed it this week. Luckily you did, even though I gave you a little bit of a hint. But
hey, thanks.
All right. So coming up this Saturday, we have Notre Dame versus Navy on the road. So we have another road game here. And I'm looking at the stats for the game. So the game starts at noon Eastern on ABC. Notre Dame is a 16.5-point favorite. Yeah, that noon Eastern, that's actually – I kind of like those now. I remember back in the day, they used to do it a lot. Dennis and I mentioned when we were living together, we would watch a game, fall asleep at noon, have a pizza, and then watch the rest of it. So there you go. The over-under is 40 points.
Damn. Navy's really bad, though, aren't they?
That's kind of what I'm looking at. It's almost like they're saying like Notre Dame's going to win like 37-3 or something like that. So who knows what it's going to be. But how are you? Okay, I'm going to start with Troy. What are you looking at for this week's game against Navy? How are you seeing the offense and defense kind of working?
So if the offense starts out, I'm looking to see if they come out flat, first of all. Because, you have such an elation and a win at home, and you do it, and everyone's telling you you're great, right? And then with kind of gone up and down, it's very important to truly get back to the process and truly come out there and punch them right in the face. Like, first drive, touchdown, quick. Defense, first drive, 3 and out, quick. Because if you let Navy sit around and 7-0, 3-0, get into a fourth quarter game where one mistake means everything. And I've seen it. We've played it. Navy before. So the fact of the matter is whoever starts that game better start quick, fast, and then from that point, make those boys quick. That's what I'll see. That's what I'll be looking for.
Dennis, what are you looking at? What do you think is going to be going on?
Yeah, I'm just a little. The only thing I'm gun shy is just because I just have flashbacks of BK's first year and losing in the Navy and stuff, and it's just like why? So I don't think we will, because everyone is always like, oh, it's so hard to defend the option. It's so hard to defend the option, which I'm sure it is when you don't see it all the time. I don't know. I didn't play college football, but I think Notre Dame, just to echo Troy, it's the same thing. I just think come out, Tommy, don't get cute. If you're pass, I would obviously work on some of the passing game this week and try to get some receivers work and stuff. I mean, that's a good opportunity.
Yeah.
I'd like to think the line can definitely hold off the midshipmen. I mean, that O-line they're good. I'm so glad Harry Houston is back. I mean, they're pushing him around. So it should be an easy game. I definitely would pick Notre Dame to cover the spread too.
We'll get to our picks here in a few minutes, but what I'm looking at, I want something to begin with over the top that's going to be like a deep shot chance early on, kind of get the crowd out of the game, even though it's going to be a pro Notre Dame crowd. We already know that, so we're good there. But I kind of, like you said, I kind of want the wide receivers involved early, and I think just taking a deep shot, depending on where they are on offense on their first drive, go for it right away. Second or third play, hit it. If it doesn't work, then just run that ball up their ass. But yeah, definitely kind of work around with the other wide receivers to kind of get them more involved this week compared to the last 2 weeks. So that's how I'm looking at that.
I'd like to see deep.
What else is Navy plays the shell coverage, right? like that's kind of what they're looking like. Don't get beat deep. Make a team drive the football. Like, I mean, based on the skill guys they have, that's how they have to play. So getting the receivers involved definitely, but like deep shots and those are wasted plays, and you're only going to get maybe 7 or 8 possessions the way they play, and if they get first down, so if you waste them and then try to run the ball after the fact, like
it's predictable then, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
it would be predictable. So I'm looking at the Navy rushing game, and one of my favorite names on Navy is Fofana. Because when I first saw his name, it's like Donna Fofana. It's like a little kid rhyme when you're sitting.
The name game.
Yeah, the name game. So he has 140 carries for only 502 yards, but 5 touchdowns. So
what's the average in?
That's what I haven't pulled it up yet.
Like
but
2 yards a pop. That's
and their quarterback has 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He's only averaging 3.6 yards per carry.
wow.
So our defense should
really small.
Yeah, he's a small dude. Let's see, he's 5'8", 205. So
wow,
he's a DB. That's what he looks like to me.
Yeah. The days of who did they have from my years when they were cooking?
Oh, that quarterback. Who was that guy?
He got drafted by the Dolphins.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Malcolm. Was it something?
Yeah, Malcolm Perry.
There it is.
There you go. So
like fast, athletic, can move, can run. He started as an A-back, moved to quarterback, did everything for him. Gone are those days. Thankful.
Actually, the guy's name is Daba Fofana.
Daba
Fofana. So yeah, it's a name game, rhyme game. So yeah, so looking at this game, obviously, like I said, I'm looking for more of a passing situation, but I just utilize what you got, utilize that running game. But I'm expecting at least 250 yards rushing if they got it. So
I'll take it. And for the love of football, please, like Troy said, don't come out flat or just overlook me or play down to your competition. I hate that. That's why, I think this team found an identity. So let's stick with it and don't play down to Navy. Like put them away.
Put them away and put them away early.
Yeah.
Don't let them come back into it. Do what we did against freaking Clemson. Get up 21-0, 28-0. And then that way you could just coast and I can leave early. So there you go.
I watched that game 3 times already, man.
Really? How can you not?
I mean, that's what I do.
There you go. So let's get into our picks. I'm going to start first this week, and then we'll have Dennis and then we'll have Troy. So for my score prediction, I just kind of wrote this down out of nowhere. I have Notre Dame winning, obviously, 44-13. I don't know how Navy's going to score 13. I think they're going to get lucky on something like they usually do anyway. They usually hit one of those over the top, and then they'll kick 2 stupid field goals. So that's what I'm looking at. But 44-13, Notre Dame, they'll be 7-3, at least in my estimation, going into next week then, or the week after against BC, which I will be at that game. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
I know we were trying to get you out to Chicago again, but
I've got to get to a game.
Dennis, your score prediction.
Notre Dame to win. And I said they would cover the spread with 16, right? So right. I guess for score, let's say 38-10. I'll go with the score I said. That's just my score every week, 38-10, whoever.
You're good with that. Just this time, hopefully our side. So there.
Right.
There you go. Troy, what do you got?
I like a convincing win, but I think that we run the ball more. I think that we, still win. So I got 27-13.
Nice. Okay.
7. Okay.
For Navy at some point playing some good defense out of nowhere, slowing down, and having some trick plays for us. It's really about eye discipline and everyone doing their job against them. And sometimes we lack a little bit of focus. So that's where they'll get the 13 from out of nowhere. But other than that, I don't see them doing much. I don't see them winning. I don't see them really challenging, but us hurting ourselves sometimes.
So we do have about 10 minutes left, so I'm going to go into this real quick. Yeah, we're kind of a quick show. So
let's talk about rankings.
I was just going there. Thank you. So Notre Dame is 20. What is it in the AP poll, and then 25 in the coaches poll?
They're 20 in the playoff rankings.
Playoff rankings, that too. So yeah. They're 20 there as well. Do you think that kind of boosts their ego more to kind of more of a drop, or do you think it's perfect where they are right now? Dennis, I'll let you go first.
I think they're probably at this point, and I would like to think Freeman is, but I'm not the head of Marcus Freeman. I would like to think he's like, don't even look at the rating, guys, because maybe keep them a little humble pie still. Because remember, those were two awful. I'm still sour over Stanford. Yeah, those were terrible losses. Had no business losing those games. With that being said, I think Marcus will keep that in mind and say, let's go out there. We got a good thing going. We're 6-1 in our last 7 games. We got a really good shot to beat our biggest rival, and we can close out the home against BC. Yeah, and they're on the road in Baltimore. So yeah, man, put them away and keep them humble. But how about that Tennessee-Georgia game? I love all those cats were jumping on the Tennessee bandwagon, and I knew Georgia was going to rock them because that defense, unbelievable.
Discipline defense.
So, yeah. What'd you think of that game, Troy? Did you watch it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I could see it coming, though, to be honest, because, Tennessee beat Bama because Bama's defense was the discipline. They were spreading them out, giving them the option of chasing the run or the pass. Jalen Hyatt went for like 4 tugs, 200 yards. Like, come on, bro. Like, those games aren't coming. Like, those types of games aren't coming week after week. So as soon as Georgia said, okay, that's the guy that they want to run deep, let's, do the right stuff. Don't get beat with your eyes. It was kind of like Tennessee looked up and was like, oh, shoot, we're not going to score against them. And then Stetson Bennett's got him rolling. He's a vet. He's moving around in the pocket. Like, they're just a well-rounded, good team. They're not going to beat themselves anymore. They know how to win a national championship. They know what it takes. They're not beating themselves.
And I know he was your former head coach, but Brian Kelly finally beat Alabama.
Hey, you wanted Bama to win, but I wanted LSU to win. I mean, yeah, BK, he went out and it wasn't the best for us and stuff like that. But with that being said, he doesn't deserve a statue. He didn't win a title. But with that being said, I mean, that was pretty great. 5-year. I mean, come on. I haven't seen that since the 90s. It was awesome. And I think he was really emotional at the end because I think it wasn't so much, for the school and LSU, I'm sure it was. I think more it was personal for him because Saban owns Kelly. I mean, we got waxed.
Yeah, twice.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is I love it, for them beating it, it shakes up college football, number one. New team will be in the playoff. Number two, he went for 2. Like,
yeah.
But it's
the size of fucking cantaloupes to make that play.
Yeah, we're not going to keep going to overtime. We don't want to drag this out. Let's go for 2. Let's win the game. Like, it's whatever.
It was all or nothing on one play, and he gambled, and man, did he win.
Sometimes I wish he had those cojones when he was on our sideline, but that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting paid over there, so he's good. He can do whatever.
Hey, how did that make you feel since you played for him and stuff? Like, was it kind of a punk move of him like that? Like,
absolutely, yeah. I hated it. I hated it because, like I say, did it the wrong way. Like, But the thing is, you could expect it though because of the kind of guy he was while he was there. Like, never really saw him in the summer. Like Coach Baylor, head coach a lot. He has great coordinators, but personally, like, it'll be few and far between guys that say, "Yeah, I played for Brian Kelly." Like, that was who I played for. But that's he did his thing. He's going to the South. He changed his accent. He's got some more money. More powerful.
They're from my family.
Like,
oh man, that was great. It's like, dude, you're from Boston. You're from Massachusetts, guy.
He still recruited me, still gave me an offer, so I still appreciate him. But yeah, it was kind of weak. I didn't like it, but you could expect it.
Troy, did you go to the same high school as Tony Rice?
No, he went to Woodruff, but same.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a whole bunch during recruiting.
Yeah.
Have you been able to make it back to Notre Dame since your playing days?
I went back for the pro day when Dante Vaughn was he went back for pro day, so I went back to watch him and check some of those guys out. Kyron, Kyle was there while I was there, but I haven't been back to a game at all. And I gotta
get out there, man.
No, I hated missing the Clemson one because, like I said, I'm from South Carolina. Like I loved it. Like I love it. Like it's wonderful. So, but no, I definitely got to make it back out so I can have some energy on the sideline and throw some stuff and all that.
Well, I want to see you on the NFL field, my man. So I hope that comes through for you.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm locked in. Like I said, my opportunities. So I'm good.
Awesome, man. Well, keep your head up because you got it. I mean, you got the talent, that's for sure. I got to see you play. I got to photograph you.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I got an interview with you. I thought I might have, but who knows? I was in the locker room a few times. Unfortunately, I was in the locker room when you guys lost to Clemson in Dallas. So that was like the worst one that I was at.
Floyd, I'm sorry if I yelled at you while you were on the TV and I was like, what are you doing? So I apologize.
I'm not sorry. So there you go.
Because I'm doing it now, so it's all good, man.
Exactly. So, gentlemen, thank you, Troy, for joining us. Anywhere that we can find you out. Obviously, you have your website and social media. Just tell us about it real quick. We got about 3 minutes.
Got you. So, Troy Pride 18. That's all my social medias. Pride Team or Team Pride Enterprise on Instagram. That's where I'll be doing all my philanthropy and all kind of stuff like that. Like I'm doing a Thanksgiving drive here in a couple weeks.
Nice.
Christmas stuff set up. Like it's a lot of the good stuff. A lot of good wholesome stuff you'll see there. And shoot. That's me. I'm a private guy, but you'll see a little bit of the life.
And you answer DMs on Twitter, so I appreciate that. So there you go. And unfortunately, you cannot find Dennis Stover anywhere on any social media because
everyone should get off of it. Elon Musk is a punk.
It works for me, so there you go.
Yeah, no, I get it for its reasons, but
yeah,
I won't do it.
Exactly. All right, so gentlemen, thank you guys again. I have Dennis Stover, Evan J. Thomas, Troy Pride Jr. This is the We Are ND Nation podcast. You can find us on the socials, our website, wearendnation.com. We got all of our shows on YouTube, especially the one with Chris George last week, which was pretty damn fucking cool as well. We have the We Are ND Nation t-shirt, which I'm not wearing right now, but I will. And actually, I need to get your size there, Troy, and then that way I can send you one as well. So I'll DM you back. I'll send you the link to this. And until next week, we have, let's see if we can get another special guest. But as I always finish off the show, go Irish.
Go Irish and fuck Michigan.
Go Irish forever. And
woo!
I hate USC, the University of Spoiled Children. Forget
them. That's it. Get them out of here.
That has to be my favorite line of the show so far.
Well, yeah.
University
fuck USC is right, though, man. God.
Troy, good luck. We'll talk to you.
Thank you, Troy.
All right?
Thank you. Appreciate you, gentlemen.
We Are ND Nation podcast, a new era of Irish football with your host, me, Evan J. Thomas, and my new co-host, Dennis Stover, as we will bring you special guests throughout the season. We will go deep with your Irish football coverage in a way that you haven't seen or heard before. Dennis and Evan are just two best friends, lifelong Irish fans, bringing you the best Notre Dame football coverage, analysis, and our opinions on a weekly basis. You can watch or listen to the We Are ND Nation podcast on YouTube every Friday during the season on wearendnation.com. Follow us on the socials. We are ND Nation. Go Irish.